Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry we're late. We are live. We are here. We're ready to go. We're going to do a show here. It's going to be amazing, guys. So first off, we're going to throw it to the one, the only, Mr. Exclusive. Mr. Exclusive, how you doing, buddy?
I'm well. Thank you very much for asking. How is everybody else?
You know what, man? We're not going to talk about what's going on yet. We're going to let some things get sorted, and then maybe we'll talk about it in the future. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to go to the homie, the man that just went over 1,000 follows on the Twitters, Matthew McFadden. How you doing, buddy?
I'm not bad. I'm absolutely freezing, though. There's stormy weather where I am, and it's horrible. It's just absolutely horrible.
Listen, man, I'm sorry that you can't be here with me in this perfect 70-degree weather, and you can't have sunshine all day long. But listen,
he's Scottish to burn.
You get used to this.
Sorry, Matt. Love you.
So, guys, we are here to do a preview for Manchester United versus Southampton. But first off, because we are coming off a very interesting game against Young Boys, let's start off by talking about this a little bit, guys. Mr. Exclusive, give me some
wow. It's going to be an interesting one. I'll probably throw a couple of stats out. Probably easier to start off the idea of today. Manchester United actually score every 58 minutes now in the Premier League.
That surprises me a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, score a goal every 58 minutes. We concede a goal every 56 minutes.
Jesus, that's absolutely embarrassing.
I get this stats off footystats.org. So I don't go and establish these stats myself because I think it'd take a good few years to get through the footage that we've only had in the last few games, because you've got to fall asleep between like every few seconds, aren't you? Come on, it's Man United. Our goal average a game is 1.54, and our conceding per game is 1.62.
Wow. It just seems like it's so crazy that that's the point that we're at Manchester United, doesn't it? Like, we're conceding more than we're scoring. Absolutely ridiculous. Real quick, just wanted to give quick shout-outs. George, good to see you in here. Ryan, Michael Hubbard, Chris Bennington, Chris McTeague, Mad Marcus. It's good to see you guys. I'm happy to see you guys in here. Like I said, we're not talking about anything that's going on between Matthew and myself. Like I said, Matthew and I just had a conversation, not talking about that. So we're going to focus on what's going on in this coming game, guys. So, by the way, Matt Marcus, you're a sexy beast. You know it. You know it.
Everyone knows it.
Everybody give Matt Marcus the love. Give him the love, guys. But, Matthew, I know that we did that review after the match. Do you want to give any more thoughts? Now that we've been a few days removed from what's going on?
Yeah, it was just such a weird game, wasn't it? Like, I think we're all happy with the fact that we won the game and that we qualified for the next rounds, but the way in which we did it was just, it was stupid. And I'm still annoyed about that bet. Still annoyed. That £200 or whatever I could have won, shocking.
Seriously.
I think that's all I can add to it, really.
I've got some betting odds for actually later, so Matt, if you want to listen to them afterwards.
I'm going to get PTSD from bets. Don't even bring that up.
Seriously, right now we're just at another level, aren't we, guys? But let's be real about this. That Young Boys game was an absolute shower of shit. Absolute shit.
Well, I didn't know you could polish a turd, but Jose's been trying for the last 3 years.
No, yeah. It's confusing what's going on at Manchester United. You've had 3 years, Jose. You continue to do what you're doing. I don't understand how our board doesn't have the sack to get rid of him. Just don't have the balls to do it. But
because
guys,
he's not mathematically out top 4 yet.
That's true.
That's the only reason why.
Yeah. I mean, it's still not right, though. We're Manchester United. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we should be better than that. We should be better than that. So, I mean, let's go ahead. Let's go to previewing this upcoming game, guys. Let's first start off by talking about Southampton, because they're a club that is in some dire straits right now. They are not looking very good. They're looking like a team that is likely to be relegated right now. And they're even they're at a weird position because they've not really scored this year. They're obviously conceding loads of goals. They have the B-Tech Mourinho there and Mark Hughes, and like it's just confusing. It's just confusing that this matchup is basically Mourinho versus Mourinho. I'm wondering if we're just going to get a ball sitting in the middle of the pitch with nobody attacking it. So, but guys, Mr. Exclusive, let's start off. Is there anybody that's a danger man for Southampton that we could be looking at?
Okay. Well, we talk about danger in a sense of attacking moves. Before we start telling about danger men in themselves, Southampton's attack on their own, the amount of times they're caught offside as a team is 1.85 a game. So that to me sounds like they don't very much attack. And the stats sort of show when you've got Danny Ings, which is their lead scorer with 4 goals, then Armstrong with 2 goals, Hashberg, if I said that name correct. Go on.
I was just saying it's Joe Armstrong got all of his goals last week. So that's
well, he's not doing too bad. He's already got like halfway of Lukaku's.
I mean, you're not wrong with that. And Danny Ings is injured, I think.
Yeah, I think he is as well. But yeah, you got Gabardini, Cappuccino, whatever his name is, on 1 goal. And Birchland on 1-2. So the last 5 games for Southampton, 1-0 draw with Watford, a 0-0 draw with Newcastle, 0-3 to Chelsea, 2-2 to Brighton, and 1-2 to Leicester.
Ooh, hold up. That was a wonder goal right there from Cardiff. It was a guy top left of the box and just hurled it into the top corner. Absolutely beautiful.
That's my bet down the drain.
Sorry about that, guys.
Come on, Neil Warnock. You haven't got power. Where's that come from? Oh.
But I mean, Matthew, is there anything you want to add to that in terms of the danger men?
Danger men. I mean, Southampton are 0-0 specialists. They don't really know what a danger man is if it hit them in the face. They've got a guy called James Ward-Prowse, who's been a squad player for them since about 1984. He's a bit bang average, but he's got a sort of set piece delivery, kind of like David Beckham. Huh? Lots of people were kind of calling him the next David Beckham when he was about 20 years old. I think he's about 23 now. So he might be a danger if they're going for that set piece approach. And there's, what's his name, Mohamed El Younousi, signed from Basel, I think, last season. The only thing I know about this guy is that he's a 5-star skiller in FIFA. So he must be quite skillful. This is the absolute depth of knowledge I'm going into here, based off FIFA ratings.
Listen, FIFA's real.
FIFA is 100% accurate.
FIFA is 100% real. Everybody knows this.
Oh yeah, Valencia is still above an 80 rating.
Yes.
For some reason. But no, when it comes to Southampton predictions, see, we can make this video 3 seconds long and just say 0-0. And then just end it. Because I'm not sure, there was a stat that was put in the mod chat. I'm not sure if you saw it, Andrew. I'm not sure if it was put in the mod chat or not. But basically, since Fergie retired, Man United are the second club who most often get 0-0 draws, which is shocking enough. The top club is Southampton. If that doesn't scream 0-0, then I don't know what does.
Listen, and ultimately, my score isn't going to be too far off that since I'm going with a 1-0. And I'm thinking that's going to be a Marouane Fellaini header at the very end again.
Last game at St Mary's was a 1-0 win.
Yeah, seriously. Like it's just it's absolutely pathetic what's going on at Manchester United. We all know that. We all know it. Like, but and Ryan Beals just said it. Lee Grant's not 100 overall. You know it can't be a real game. Come on now.
Oh, do not get me started.
So, I mean, for me, I look at. I mean, obviously Danny Ings is the one danger man there. I mean, he's got 4 goals and 1 assist this year. He's by far their best player. And then, I mean, they've got Gabbiadini, who's somebody that should be more of a danger man than he is. I remember that game that he played against us in the League Cup match a couple years ago, and he absolutely destroyed us. Like, he did. He came on and just made us look silly. And end of the day, that's somebody that we do have to be worried about. Now, will he start? I don't know. But should he start? Especially against Manchester United? Yeah, he really should. So I just between those two, I mean, like you were saying, Mr. Exclusive, it's like everybody else is kind of like meh. Like I mean, nobody's really impressed with anything. And
no, there's nothing nothing to be impressed about when it comes to Manchester United, and you can take it away from the Jose era anyway. Like even under Sir Alex, like when he left on a 5-5 draw with West Brom, and it was a thrilling match. And this is one of the things that Ferguson was key on. It didn't matter if you let in 5 goals. You can, as long as you scored the other 5 to cancel out the other, made it an exciting match. That's a match that we'll never forget. And the same with the state with Roy Keane winning the goal for against Juve to send us to the Champions League.
Oh no! Sorry about that, guys. They're showing a replay of the last goal. It literally was like identical to the last one, and there.
I thought your house just got broken into or something. You're screaming at someone.
That's why we got the gun on the table, guys.
Flying out then.
Sorry.
It's Second Amendment. Shout it out, guys. You know what it's about.
You do know they were actually just talking about artificial, like bear arms when you go hunting. That when you caught the bear, that you could put the arms up. That was when they said you could bear arms.
That's what I thought the real bear arms meant. I just didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah. It's my bad.
It's fine. We can clue the Americans in later of your own.
But so guys, I mean, Southampton have scored 10 total goals this year. 10 total goals.
That's 10 more than I thought.
Yeah,
and more of them were away.
Yes.
So home isn't that great for them right now. Their overall win ratio right now is at about 8%. They score about 0.6 goals at home a game and 0.8 goals away. They concede overall 1.8 goals a game. So it's roughly it's 1.33 at home, 2.29 away. So unfortunately, we're at the time where they're only going to let in 1.3, and we're struggling to score goals against young boys and hoping Fellaini that can just like nod it home without his hair.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real, guys. Marouane Fellaini has lost his superpowers since he cut his hair.
He's not even that. He's lost 1.5 feet at least.
He's 5'3" now.
Matthew, can you confirm or deny that Marouane Fellaini has lost his superpowers?
You know what? I'm going to deny.
You're going to deny?
It's
okay.
I say I deny it. I think he's going to become Messi now.
Fair.
Some boy, so yes.
Can we swear, Andrew? I mean, Chris, keep it light. Keep it light. But because, I mean, obviously we're not getting our chat like modded by YouTube yet. So, I mean, as long as you keep it light. Keep it light. Up to 3 words. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. I just...
Can you have more than 3 swear words if you beep your own swear words out? So like, yeah, beep, you beep Jose, yeah, beep, Jose, beep, Jose. There you go.
All right, so guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to go into what is the starting lineup for this match. We're going to start off by talking about the way Mourinho's going to line it up. We're going to give our lineup for how Mourinho's going to do it, and then we'll give what we would do. So I mean, Matthew, let's go with you first. What is the starting lineup you think that Mourinho is going to run out there?
Right, starting lineup. David De Gea in goal, obviously. We've heard stuff about Diogo Dalot playing, and I hope that's true. I'm not sure if Mourinho has 100% confirmed that, but even Diogo himself has put on Twitter saying excited to be in the squad for the next Premier League game or something like that. So I think he will start. It will be them two at centre back. I don't even want to say their names. We all know who we're talking about. Left back is Luke Shaw's back because that was a 1-game suspension. So
yeah,
we'll probably see him back. In the defensive midfield spot, probably Matic. Fellaini next to him. Pogba is the other midfielder. And then a front three. It's a bit of an awkward one because Sanchez is out. And he's probably been a better number 9 this season than Lukaku, and Sanchez hasn't scored. Apart from once against Newcastle, and that says it all really about Lukaku. But I think he's probably going to go with a front three of Lingard, Lukaku, and I would not be surprised one bit if Martial gets dropped. Because he's had 2 bad games in a row, and that means, according to Mourinho, that you just get dropped forever.
I mean, I was actually thinking about dropping Martial myself, but I'm going to personally leave him in for a Jose team. But, I mean, do you think that he's going to get dropped, Matthew?
Personally, yeah. I think he probably will. However, like you said, I wouldn't drop him whatsoever. This is a perfect game for his form to come back against a team who are just bang average from front to back, really. You just need that one little moment of absolute world-class ability, and Martial's shown that this season. So yeah, I would play him, but I don't think he'll get played this game, or at least I don't think he'll start.
I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, so Mr. Exclusive, what was the lineup you're saying Mourinho's going to run out?
Matic, Fellaini, Matic, Fellaini. Well, you're going to look at De Gea in there. You're Shaw on the left. You're going to have to put Jones probably in with Smalling. And he's already said Dalot will play, so hopefully you'll actually stick by that. But he's not. Valencia's not in his good books right now, so I'm guessing it has to be that way. You're going to have static Matic in the centre defensive midfield role. Pogba, if he wants to play him. If not, it'll be probably Fellaini. Maybe Herrera will come in if Pogba's still going to get dropped, but I hope he doesn't. I'm not too sure about that. Then you've got, I would think Martial should start on the left because I don't think he has another option now that Sanchez is classed as out, because he can't just swap Rashford over on the other side and then put, whichever. So that's kind of my idea. You're going to have Martial on the left, Pogba, Lukaku on the top, and then either Mata or Lingard on the right. He likes to be awkward. I wouldn't do that, but it's Jose.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. We never know what to expect when Mourinho is throwing out a starting lineup, because I honestly don't think that he has run out one consecutive starting lineup in any game.
They're consistently inconsistent.
Yes. So real quick, Chris Bennington asked me to shout out his sister, Allie. Allie, if you're watching, hope you have a good birthday, and have a good day. Birthdays are special.
Have a good birthday.
But I also wanted to say what's going on, Pankaj and Sophie. Good to see you guys in here. But he is a consistent liar. That is true, Jay Hart. He is a consistent liar. That is 100% for sure. So here's my predicted lineup for what's going to happen. We're going to get De Gea in goal. We're going to get Dalot on the right because it's already been said that he's going to play. Then we're going to get Smalling and Jones as our center backs. We're getting the Chuckle Brothers back together again, guys. It's happening. I promise. But we're going to get Luke Shaw on the left. We're going to get Matic as a CDM. We're going to get Fellaini and Pogba in the midfield. And then we're going to get Lingard on the right, Lukaku up top, and Martial on the left. I don't think that he's going to drop him yet. But I think based on how horrible Rashford was last game, I think if Rashford hadn't missed those chances about 8 feet to the right and about 8 feet to the left when he's 6 yards out from the box, he probably would be getting the start over Martial. But because of how bad he was, I'm saying that Martial's going to start. It's somebody that, I mean, obviously, I think we all agree that Martial is one of our best players. He is one of our best players, and he should be starting week in, week out with Pogba in the midfield. Those are players that should be starting week in, week out without question. So, I mean, but let's do this together, guys. We're going to run out a starting lineup based on the players that are available that we would run out in this match coming up against Southampton. Because let's be real, Southampton are fighting relegation. It's true. They're probably going to get relegated. And this is a perfect game to bring in people into the squad that wouldn't typically get minutes or time. So for me, I mean, do you guys disagree with De Gea in goal?
Nope.
Mr. Exclusive?
Sorry, my bad. I was reading the chat. What did you say?
That's all good, man. So I said, we're going to combine our 11. We're just going to talk about it together. Okay. So De Gea, you agree? Goal?
Lee Grant, come on.
Listen, Lee Grant isn't even of this world, so you can't even actually put him in goal.
True.
Southampton.
Yes, it would be too.
They're struggling for goals. Can't pay him.
Yeah, no, you're right.
If we were in the Champions League final, that's a match to run out Lee Grant. Come on now.
You should be in the Champions League final having Lee Grant in your squad. Just give the medal. Yes. Lee Grant actually brings his superpowers to the team, and we win because of the superpowers. That's the realness. So, I mean, listen, this actually would be a decent game to start a Lee Grant, but because I think way too risky.
Well, but this is the reason why I'm saying that with the way we would do things, I would literally put De Gea in goal every week without question. Like every match, you're the goalkeeper. In fact, I want you to build your house around the goal. You're never allowed to leave between the sticks. Like, just
forget parking a bus. We got park in the house now.
Yes, park in the house.
Mobile
home.
Stays in the house.
Mobile home. So, I mean, do you guys disagree with Delo on the right? I think we're pretty much all in agreement with that.
Yeah.
So, because, and it's only because Lindelof is gone, I would say one center back has got to be Chris Smalling.
Yep.
Okay, and then the other one, this is a perfect match. Big
Eric.
It's got to be Eric Bailly. It's got to be Eric Bailly. It's us running it out. This is a good game to get his confidence back. Let him go out and have some freedom to do what he's going to do.
Pink boots, though. We'll miss the pink boots.
Listen, that's besides the point. That is besides the point. So, I just...
Sorry, Anthony.
No, you're all good, man. And so, like, I would run out Bailly out there. I really would.
Same.
And then Luke Shaw, obviously, on the left.
Yeah.
So the midfield is where things would get interesting for me. So I personally would say we're going to do a 4-2-3-1 in this match. And what I would do is I would do Fred as one of the midfielders. You guys good with that?
Yep, fine with me.
Yeah.
And then I would have Pereira be the other midfielder. I mean,
yeah, that's fine.
And he just cool. So I think that those two in the like as the CDMs, if you wanted to call it that, that's where I would do that. And then, I mean, well, Matthew, I didn't hear if you agreed with Pereira. Do you agree with Pereira?
Yeah, probably so.
And it's just because of this match. Like it's because of this match. And George, listen, we all know this will never happen. We know it'll never happen. Come on now, but. So then the 10 for me would be Pogba. I would run out Pogba in the 10 in this match. Let him be only having attacking responsibilities and just see how it works out. I think it'd be a perfect match to do it.
Definitely.
Obviously,
why not? It's not a hard opposition.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Exclusive, you want to chime in on that?
I'm just saying it's not a hard opposition to do it against. Honestly, like it should be as well as like a training game for Manchester United in any sense. So you should. This is the type of game, yeah, where your opposition is struggling. You're not going to give them any respect. You will look at how you play your game. Sorry, that's how we would do anyway. Play our game, and then we would absolutely crush the opposition. We'd make sure that Sparky loses his job tomorrow and not Jose. But this is Man United we're talking about.
Yeah. No, Chris, I did see your lineup. You have Fellaini in there twice. Come on now. This is a realistic lineup. This is the one we would run out. Would you run out two Fellaini's? But so this is where it would probably get a little bit different. So I would play Lingard on the right. I mean, you guys disagree with that?
No.
I wouldn't. I'd put Chong on the right.
Well, I was going to put Chong on the bench because realistically, I know that you don't want to just throw a kid out there right off the bat. And especially in a Premier League matchup, I would say Kevin come on for the last 30 minutes and just give him the freedom. Just be like, hey, kid, go out, go do your thing. Just go out and do your thing for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's definitely, you can definitely do that. Like, I was just thinking back to, like, the other, like, debutants. Like, a lot of debutees came up against Crystal Palace and they came on off the bench as well. So, yeah, I can imagine that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why. So I would honestly do this too. I would have him there. I would bring Greenwood, put him on the bench as well. This is
I would start him. I would actually start him against Southampton.
See,
because I just listen. Have some freedom. Just do what you do in the under 23s and under what you do in the under 18s. Just absolutely run riot. And I think because he's not playing on that wage and that expectation, he can do that sort of job as long as we put the ball in for him.
Listen, George, I understand. I mean, Jose has never said to a young player, go express yourself. But we're talking about if we were in charge of this match. Only if we were in charge for this match specifically, because we're taking into account what's happened recently, and we're just saying what we would do. So I personally would run out Rashford up top. And reason being is after how poor he was against young boys, I feel like going up against Southampton and hopefully letting him get that, like, play against a lower side and get that, like, he needs to get his confidence back. You can see how devoid of confidence this poor kid is. He really is. And put him up top and give him the freedom to do what he did in the last game. I mean, where you guys agree?
Can't disagree. I disagree.
I mean, Matthew?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And then lastly, I would put Martial on the left. Martial's literally in the lineup for me every week.
100%.
So Crystal Palace. So as Ash said, so Crystal Palace is a top team. He has missed 10-1-1. A little confused, Ash. That I guess I don't know what you mean fully.
It was probably because you had mentioned the team that played against Crystal Palace that had a ton of youth players a couple of years back. I think someone referenced that.
No, I said a lot of debutees came against Crystal Palace. So, like, coming off the bench, like, quite a few debutees top scorers as well.
So, I mean, this is where I think that bringing through kids and letting them be on the bench and letting them actually get into the lineup. I would put Greenwood out there eventually in this match. I would say I would bring on Chong about the 60th minute, Greenwood about the 70th minute, and then I would probably bring Gomez along too. And depending on what we needed for a last sub, base it on that. Like if we were already up big, then I would say probably run Chong out there about the 75th. And once again, just tell the kids, go out there and express yourself. Go do it. Go do you. Go bring your energy and your talent to this team. And just go do you.
You see, being at the age, right, of watching Sir Alex Ferguson, I was literally just learning about football when he got rid of like Mark Hughes and all those players and brought in the class of '92. Brought in that youth, and I kind of see a mirror image of what Jose's going through now to what Sir Alex went through when he was at that point where he maybe, obviously, I know Jose doesn't trust young youth, so I know that's a bit of a half truth for what I'm saying, but the fact that he could easily take a handful of youth academians or whatever you want to call them and drop them into the team here and there and actually trust them like Sir Alex Ferguson did, and carry on that, first of all, legacy that we're already known for, but he would get a better, like fans would appreciate it more, would probably give him more time if he was like turning around to us saying, listen, I'm trying the youth here. They're not working as how I want them. We can get them that way. Just give me time. But he's not doing that because he's not even playing the youth. He's trying to say, well, these old folk are not doing the job I'm asking. Well, bring the young ones and let them run their heads off.
Yeah, I agree, Mr. Exclusive. And AFAF, good to see you in here, man. I mean, Matthew, what do you think about that? I mean, do you think this would be a perfect game to bring in the youth, play them, let them do them?
In theory, it would, but obviously, as you said, we're talking about Jose Mourinho. It's not going to happen. However, I'd probably put Greenwood on the bench because I think this is the sort of match where if we are 1-0 up or something, we've got 20, 30 minutes left, and we look like we're sort of relatively in control, could be a good chance to bring him on. He's not got much pressure on his shoulders. He can just go out there and just play like he normally would.
Could you imagine Jose trying to sub Lukaku off? He'd be shaking, trying to, like, as he's coming off. Jose trembling. Can't do this.
That's true. So if we're talking about our preferred lineup, would we have Lukaku on the bench?
In this match, probably not.
No.
All right, so I'm trying to think who would be in the bench. So obviously a keeper, 2 defenders, and then maybe Fellaini, just if we're really chasing a result. And then
I'd have Fellaini on the bench. To be honest with you, over the 3 years of actually having him at the club, first year I absolutely detested him. I didn't think he was worth being at United. But you got to say he has scored some goals that have kept us in some games. Like, he's not no Wally Gunnar Solskjaer.
But still just wits it up. But yeah,
I'm not saying I want him completely.
While we have him, and in times where we need, a desperate goal, then I don't mind bringing him on. But it's just the fact that how often Mourinho uses him that it's just an absolute pain in the arse, to be honest. But yeah, so we'd have maybe Fellaini and Mata as the 2 sort of midfield options, and then Greenwood and someone else up front, or is the attacking options off the bench? So I'm trying to think it. So maybe someone. Who else would be there? So it wouldn't be Lukaku, and it wouldn't be. Who's it again? The other winger. No. Actually, I'd have Greenwood and Chong on the bench. That's it.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
That's completely fair too.
Because if we're in control and we're 1 or 2-0 up, we've got 20 minutes or so left. Just bring them on. It's not going to hurt.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. So Ash actually asked us an interesting question. He said, and I know how, because Ash and I have talked about, like, with playing youth, that, if the results don't happen, that we'll criticize them for not having it. And so he said, I feel like you guys won't talk about result if we start playing youth. Is that it? Like, and Ash, listen, if we play kids, and I'm willing to bet that Mr. Exclusive and Matthew will both agree with me on this. If we were to actually play the youth, let them go out there and go do their thing, and we wound up not winning, then at the end of the day, the youth got experience, and especially in a match like this, like if the youth got experience in the Premier League against top competition, perfect game to do it. And at the end of the day, if they don't succeed, you give them a pat on the back and you say, listen, it just didn't happen today. Let's go out there, go back in training, get back to it, and do you. Like, just give the kids a pat on the back. Like that's ultimately what kids need when they're first starting off, is they need the confidence to go out there and
discipline and confidence. You're right. They do need that confidence, but they need discipline as well. And I think a lot of social medias and stuff like that reduces discipline because they can do what they want to do in their own time, which is fair enough. But I think for myself, I come from an era where the players didn't have social media, didn't do anything like that. So what they did is went back to the families, lived with, stay with the families, wives, daughters, sons, did that family life thing. And that's what Sir Alex Ferguson liked about his team. He would urge them to go and get married, settle down, become a family, be a unit. It was all a family.
People as well as footballers.
Mm.
See, I remember Lee Sharp talking about when Eric kicked that in the Crystal Palace game, kicked that fan, and like they were playing really badly that game. And Lee Sharp was at a wedding, and he even said, "Listen, we went into that at half time, or whatever, thinking that he was going to give us a rollick. He couldn't give us a rollicking so much because of what Eric did, and he's there going, you should have been doing this, Giggsy. You should have been doing that. Lee, you should have been over there." Turns around to Eric and goes, "Eric, you can't do that." Like, so that point is as a manager, like who you can shout at in a club, who you can't shout at, who you have to pet, you have who you could like use as an example. Giggsy under Alex was his biggest example. Anytime that something went wrong, Giggsy got it in the neck because he showed that doesn't matter how long you've been at the club, no one is pardonable from this squad. You can be Ryan Giggs and still get slung on the bench. So why is Matic still playing? Why is Romelu Lukaku still playing? Yeah. Why are other players that shouldn't be playing play? Because Jose, as everyone knows, have a click. And if it suits him, it doesn't matter how many people pay money. It doesn't matter for the Glazers either. Even though the Glazers, in the time of being under Ferguson, gave money, won titles, so they know how to win. Does Jose know how to win anymore? Does Jose care about winning? Or does Jose care that he's getting his paycheck every week once he goes into training?
So we've had a couple of good comments come in here too. So, I mean, first of all, Dan gave us a projected lineup of what he would do. He said that he would run out a 3-5-2, do De Gea, Smalling, Jones, and Bailly, Delot, Fred, Pogba, Matza, Shaw, and then Martial and Rashford. Not a bad lineup at all. Like, I don't want to start Phil Jones ever if I don't have to, but it's not a bad lineup. Then let's see here. There was another comment I'm looking for.
Could we get rid of Matic and get Kante in for January? Do you think that's an actual possibility?
Nope.
I don't think it's a possibility because of how poor Matic has been. Literally, I think Mourinho is the only person that hasn't seen how poor Matic has been.
We could definitely give him away to a good home. Definitely. There's homes for like, dogs that are mistreated. Definitely Matic is not mistreated. He's mistreated very well. He's like one of those overweight dogs that have, been treated by the owners too much. And they're going, it's all right. Give him another big sausage. You'll be okay. And he's there actually trying to eat this sausage. Nah, that's all it is. Like, this guy, I'm not saying he's overweight at all, nothing about that. But the principle of it is it doesn't matter what the problem is. Like, this guy could probably lose both his legs, have an arm missing, and a brain. Wait, he doesn't have a brain anyway, but still play. When you've got good players like Pereira, good players like Fred, which, again, that's another one I think. Fred and Alexis Sanchez were only bought because Man City wanted them. They knew that they were going to get better if they were allowed them, so they took every possibility to get them. That was it, because they've not been used at all in a way that they can be.
Listen, I completely agree, Mr. Exclusive. Completely agree. So we actually did get a fantastic question here from Ash, who I know that he isn't Mourinho in, but he's pro backing the manager because he is the manager of Manchester United, and I get that to an extent. But he asked us a question. He said, so since you guys are about playing youth, tell me how many success stories have we had apart from the class of 92? Who has come through youth and been a success? And listen, that's a fantastic question. I want to throw that to Matthew first.
See, right now, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I think because we need a win so badly and we just need that run of games to have some kind of solidity, playing the youth right now, or playing them to the extent that we'd ideally like to see the youth, that wouldn't be at the top of my list right now. Right now, it's just we need results and some kind of encouraging performance. But yeah, I get where he's coming from in terms of the, how many class of 92s are there? There's only one.
Yeah.
But I think right now we've got a ton of talented youth players that I think at least in the next couple of years, if we hardly play them.
There's only one if you don't look for it.
With Bruno in charge, then it's just going to completely stagnate the process, and it'll be more of a story of what could have been, as opposed to look how amazing this youth players.
Yeah.
But right now, I wouldn't be 100% focused on playing youth. I'd just be focused on getting some kind of identity and getting results right now, because we don't want to slump even further mid-table than we already are.
Well, and so, I mean, Ash, I agree with exactly what Matthew just said there. I mean, Mr. Conclusive, your thoughts?
I don't think that's true at all. End of the day, there's going to be more than one class of 92. You have to look for them. If you just sit there going, there's not another class of 92 and just sit there, there's never going to be another class of 92. You have to look for this stuff. You have to be self-conscious of what you have around you. Like, excuse me, I've said this a few times on Twitter. Obviously, not many people notice because I'm not very big or anything like that. But the reason why Sir Alex Ferguson did so well, because he utilised his full squad. He utilised from 17-year-olds to 40-year-olds. Now, he would chop and change when he needed to give established, brilliant players a few hours off. You're not getting this game. You could be fresher for next game. Yeah, so he utilises those players. So if you utilise your full squad, you're going to have more chance of getting through the full season with, first of all, less injuries. Second of all, less stress, less players going, well, I'm never getting a game, because you're rotating more. You will get a set players that will probably play 38 games, because they're your the one like Van Nistelrooy's and people like that. The only time he didn't play was when he was injured or whatever, because he's putting goals in, and the class of 92, I believe you've got Gomez, you've got Chong, you've got Mason Greenwood, you've got I can't think of Traore. There's another French lad, Barofa. I can't think of his name. It was really good. There are attacking players, and you've got a good few defenders in there. Now it just doesn't. We're not saying that we're going to put 11 players from the youth squad in this squad. We're not. We're going to have David De Gea in. We're going to have established centre backs. We're going to have an established thing. But we're going to have to put in players to try and help what we have. We have an aging squad. We have a squad that, if half of our squad that goes for 38 games probably won't be in the next season because they're all unfit. Like, I think fitness is another thing. Like, I'm not thinking about just Lukaku. I mean in general. Like, if you under Ferguson, you might not know, obviously, because you weren't at that Ferguson era, but he used to say, I want these players primed for near the end of the season. While everyone else is starting to get tired, I want these to have a second wind, and we'll have them at the end. That's why we could chase at the end. That's why we could come back with points, 14 points behind or whatever, 30 to 12 points behind, and either take it from someone under someone's feet, or at least be in that second or third spot. It's not about winning. People look at us, look at a badge and think, we're Man United, they expect to win. The reason why you got sick to hear Manchester United all the time was because we were first, second or third. We might not won every year, but we were in the title race. It might have not been every year. It might have been done 2 or 3 games near the end of the season. But obviously, in today's football, it's ridiculous. For us, our season's over before even the second half has begun. So why not play more kids?
And so he said he's asking about, like, if there's been another class of 92. And listen, Ash, we all know that the class of 92 was a very big rarity. It is a rarity in the modern game to have another class of 92. But I honestly believe that because you see the potential that is currently in this class. It's currently there. I look at Mason Greenwood. I look at Tahith Chong. I look at Angel Gomez. These are all kids that are talked about on the world stage already. You look at people like Axel Tuanzebe, who's being talked about on the world stage already. You look at, I mean, you could even go as far as to say you look at, like, our midfield, that's down there with Callum Gribbins and Traore. And I do forget about the name of the other kid that's in that midfield. I know he's French, but like I get that we don't have like there hasn't been another class of 92. And I don't know if there ever will be another class of 92.
They said that when the Busby Babes were about. They said that about Busby Babes, they said that about Duncan Edwards, they said that about Bobby Charlton. And lo and behold, obviously, it wasn't straight away. It wasn't within, touching distance of like we had it. But again, if you don't have that sort of manager that's going to look into that, especially when you've got a legacy since the 50s about young talent that's challenging for European titleware as well as your own titleware. We don't. The closest titleware that we see ourselves seeing are things like the Mickey Mouse Cup and being knocked out of things like the Carabao Cup and stuff like that. And it's from where we were. Like we have fallen from grace, and we can be bitter about it because it's not what we want as a club. We as a fan, what deems you as an expert really? Like how long of studying something, deems you an expert? Like, I've watched this club for 20. I'm 31 years old, and I'll call it 92 when I actually remember watching United properly. And that's a long time of watching something and loving something. Like, I'm not saying I'm actually an expert to say that I can pick this, that, and the other, but I've watched them long enough to know what I would like to see. And this is not what I like to see. No one has, especially when you've got someone like Sir Alex Ferguson saying that you have a duty to entertain and to challenge, and we're challenging to actually to entertain. That's how challenging it is right now.
Yeah. Red Devil Weekly. I mean, so he said Greenwood is good, but I don't see him getting a breakthrough due to Jose. Listen, Red Devil Weekly. I think we all agree with that. Like, I don't think that there's going to be any youth player that while Mourinho is going to be here that's going to get a true chance. I don't think it's going to happen. It's unfortunate, but it's true. He said not just the class of '92. There have been any first team player from academy in a long time. I mean, Ash, like I said, I think we're all kind of like talking about the same thing here. Like we all know that like it's very rare that you get a kid that comes through and is like a Ryan Giggs that comes through and does what he does. It's like a David Beckham. It's very rare to happen, and especially inside of a class in and of itself, like just one class in and of itself. But I mean, I get where you're coming from. So let's see here. Neither challenging nor entertaining. Exactly, AF. Exactly what Mr. Exclusive just said. But I mean, let's go ahead. I mean, we're 47 minutes into the stream, guys. Let's go ahead and let's start to wrap this up. Mr. Exclusive, I'm going to go to you first. Give me some thoughts on the match, and then give me what is going to be your predicted score.
Right, quickly. Last games against Southampton, 0-0, 1-0, 0-0, 3-2 to us. They are likely to more score 0.5 goals. Out of 11 out of 13. So I think it's going to be a 1-0 Man United win. I literally think we're going to drag this out to maybe the last 90th minute. Do another Fellaini. It might not be Fellaini this time. It might be Jesse Lingard. It might actually be Matic. Matic actually might, come out of his shell. Might pop that little head out going. And then pop back in and go, I'm done. So yeah, I think that's me. I know I'm just joking about, but like literally, I can only joke with things now because it's not fun to watch. So I have to play joke because it's either me do it or I'm gonna have my Liverpool fans take the mick out of me, my City fans, everyone, all my friends that obviously I've been taking the mick out of.
Well, we've got some optimism. I love 6-a-side plus. He went with a 3-1 win. I love the optimism, man. I don't have that kind of optimism right now, but I really do appreciate yours. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that like we shouldn't try to be optimistic, but at the end of the day, look at what we've been going through. Like, that's all you have to do is look. There's really no optimism based off of what's been happening. That's all I'm saying. So, I mean, Matthew, give me your thoughts and then give me your score.
Speaking of optimism, I'd go with a 0-0 draw.
That's some optimism right there.
I don't like giving multiple predictions, but I'd say either a 0-0 or a 1-0 each way. I just don't see many goals happening. I'd be surprised if there's 2 goals or more. And that's just sums up the absolute state of both teams, really. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be exactly a game that people will remember for years. I think it'll just be kind of your run-of-the-mill, somewhat boring game, in all honesty. And like you said, it probably takes someone like a Jesse Lingard or whatever to have that little moment of magic where they produce something out of nowhere and get a goal, which is what we've seen quite a lot of under Mourinho, where he has this very structured team and just relies on someone having an absolute moment of brilliance. So I think we'll probably see something like that. I probably would actually bet on a Lingard goal if it was, say, a 1-0 win to United, but it can go each way, to be honest. And that just sums up how bad we are at the moment. We're not even that optimistic against Southampton.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, so I'll give out some of the predictions here for a second. So we've got AFAF. He's going with 1-0 with Delo. With Delo scoring. I love it. We've got Chris Bennington. He says 1-1 or 0-0. Ash says he's going to go with a 3-1 for United as well. Saban, he's going with a 1-0 loss. I don't think we'll lose, but I think that it's either going to be a draw or a win. Jay Hart, he says 2-1 to United. Team will underestimate Southampton to let one slip past and then come back, which that's basically been what we've done. If you don't laugh, you cry. That's how I approach United these days. Fair enough, Red Devil. I like it.
That's true.
So let's see here. We got Dan. He went with a 2-1. If anybody else wants to get their score prediction, Red, be sure to get it in. So AFAF, he said Fellaini gets a hairless header winner at the 90th plus 3 minute. Like, I love it. I love it. But so, guys, this is what I think is going to happen in this match. I think this match is going to be ultimately very similar to a lot of the matches we've had this year. We're going to start off hot, like first 15 to 20 minutes, we're going to start off hot, but nothing's going to come of it. We're going to probably go into half either being 0-0 or we're going to be at 1-0 up. And then in the second half, it's just going to continue to slightly go downhill, and then it's going to be left off there. And like we might nick a goal at the end, which I'm going with a 1-0 win for Manchester United. 1-0 win. That's my prediction. And I think that it's ultimately going to be a very frustrating game again for us Manchester United fans. Personally, listen, I want to be more optimistic. I do. But currently, I have nothing optimistic based off of our recent past to be optimistic about. Like, you have to go all the way back to the Chelsea game at this point to look at a possible optimistic result. Like, it really does go back that far. I mean, and listen, I mean, you could say the Juventus game was optimistic, a positive result, but at the end of the day, we all know that those 2 goals that we managed to score were very, very lucky. Very, very lucky.
Did anyone notice Pogba's dab as the ball went in?
Yes, of course. Come on now.
Oh my God. I didn't know if I was the only one. I know of Twitter, a lot of Twitter did, but I was watching it and I was like, did he just dab? And I was like, he did as well.
He did hit the dab as the ball went in. That was pretty cool. So, I mean, let's see here. Then
I want to see David De Gea hitting a fat whip as he saves a shot.
Listen, if we're going to be a meme club, we might as well embrace the meme. Embrace the meme.
Gotta do that.
Wait for that fourth jersey. That's the meme.
Maria, by the way, Maria went with 2-0 United. I mean, listen, at end of the day, guys, this is Southampton. We should be optimistic about a result. We should be optimistic about winning this match 2-3-0. We should. But right now, I have nothing based on recent form that we should be optimistic about what's going to happen. That's all I'm saying. I believe something good can happen. I'm not saying that nothing good can happen. But at the end of the day, right now, there's not much to be optimistic about. That's all I'm saying.
I get to go to sleep after.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We've already got a clown team, and then add in that leopard shirt and pink boots. Seriously, Jay Hart, fantastic comment.
Hey,
by the
clown.
way, Craig, I know you're going to watch this eventually. Craig, why did you buy
Craig, I'm
it?
following you for that.
I know, I saw that.
Why?
Get in the bin.
Craig, why? Like, Craig bought the leopard print shirt, guys. Craig bought the leopard print shirt. Why, Craig? Why?
I've made some dodgy purchases in my time, but Jesus Christ. Comes nowhere near that.
Like,
it's an absolute abomination.
It is. So honestly, and you look at the FIFA top last year, that was actually a pretty cool top. Like how you had it was mostly black with like the red stripes on it. That was pretty good.
No, it wasn't bad. This is just looking like.
And I get that shirt. I'm logging off FIFA, deleting my team. I'm deleting my Microsoft account. I'm burning my Xbox.
I mean, I wouldn't maybe go that far. I'm dying over here. Matthew killed me.
I think what they're going to do for next season's shirt pattern is they're going to ask Paul Pogba to see his boxes, and they'll be like, right, they're the next ones.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was his boxes.
Listen, that was a fantastic Ash comment. That was a fantastic Ash comment. I appreciate that. Like, at least that shirt doesn't get stolen. Hey, that's fair. George with a fantastic comment there. At least he knows that kit will never be stolen from his house, ever.
Yeah, imagine being a burglar and going into that house and you see that shirt and you think, I'll go to the next house.
I think they will become an arsonist.
Anything from there.
Like, I mean, so guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap it up because we're almost an hour in. Mr. Exclusive, we're going to go to you first. Anything you want to shout out? And I mean, obviously, I've got both your guys' Twitters in the description below. But anything you want to shout out, my friend?
Sorry, I wore a sky blue top to a Man United preview.
Deal, so it's all cool.
It's not as close enough.
So I mean, but I know you do gaming and stuff like that. I mean, you want to shout that out?
Yeah, just Mr. Exclusive on here. If you just go on and click on my name, obviously you'll get my gaming. I'll either do it video or no video. It's only going to be Black Ops mainly. So like, I don't like doing FIFA because I can't shoot. You watch Mark, you'll see me just absolutely game rage because I can't do FIFA.
George Kyle, he said Secret City fans. That's all it is.
Burn this mob. Nah, man.
Solid banter that was. Solid banter. So Matthew, as always, I've got all your shit down below. It's all in the description. But I'll let you go ahead and shout it out.
Yeah, so as Andrew mentioned at the start of the video, just hit 1,000 followers on Twitter. Don't know how I've done that, but 1,000 people thought my tweets were okay enough to click follow. So as a result of that, I'm doing a giveaway of one of my framed posters. And you can see one of those on Andrew's wall. I'm pretty sure you're all sick of hearing that by now.
It's right there.
It's that one. And it's my pinned tweet in a moment. So if you just go into the profile, retweet that, and then your name will be entered into a random draw tomorrow to win that poster. So obviously, if you do retweet it and enter it, you obviously have to be comfortable with giving me some kind of address to ship it to. But that's the only that's the only thing really. So yeah, I'm doing a giveaway at the moment. And there's 58 people entered in it. So you might have a chance.
Okay.
Someone's going to win.
So AFAF, you know what? If Mourinho gets sacked before Christmas, I will find a way to get that kit. And I will get, you know what? Do I go with Fellaini or Lingard? Just to remember Jose.
See, I've got a Fellaini shot. I think you should go for Lingard.
I'll go with Lingard. Lingard is the one that's featured in the ad. If we wind up getting Jose gone but before Christmas, I will get that kit with Lingard on the back. Guaranteed.
I still want to keep my title as the only person in the world to have a Fellaini shirt, so if you could keep that, then that'd be great.
We've got some people saying Matic below. Listen, I at least want somebody that is kind of respectable. Come on now, guys. Come on.
See, next time I'm going to Old Trafford, I'm getting the pink shirt and getting Phil Jones in the back. So,
well, you got to.
No, it could be worse.
But, I mean, guys, as always, I'm very blessed to have so many amazing followers, so many amazing subscribers. Be sure to drop a like on your way out. I mean, I've got fantastic guests as always. Mr. Exclusive, thank you for joining me, sir. And then Matthew, Matthew, thank you for joining me as well.
No worries.
You guys, just God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining me. Like, genuinely, it means so much to me that I have such an amazing and supportive stream here. It does genuinely mean so much. And guys, just wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, I hope you have a good night, a good day, because you guys need to keep doing you, because you guys are awesome. God bless you guys.